Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are looking at the AP80 Pro X. What a big name for such a little device. Here's the device. I have to charge it. I ran out of charge using this so much. Very, very nice. Let's get over the look-wise first, because I really am in love with the looks. I love this design, this holographic design on the back there. Love the machining. This thing is all metal except for the back and the front, which are glass. And the screen is a screen from Samsung. We'll get into the specs in just a minute. These buttons are nice, as you can see. Moving my fingers on them, they don't wobble or anything. This has a really nice click to the volume knob, which is also an on-off button. There you see it's charging right now. So you got your SD on this side that can hold up to 512 gigabytes, excuse me. And this nice volume knob, back, forward, play, pause, full touch screen. And then on the bottom, one of the things I don't like is on the bottom here, your plugs right next to your USB-C. If you have one of those very thick kind of custom wire plugs, I don't know how close that's going to be to the USB, especially if you had a big fat USB. This one's a little bit on the thinner side, so that's fine. And then you got your balanced over here. So 3.5, 2.5. I would have liked to see 4.4 on here. I also would have liked to see a case in the box, but in the box you just basically get a C to C cable similar to this, and the charging cable, which is C to USB-A. And that's it. That's all that's in the box. There's no silicone case anymore or anything like that. Let's pull up the specs here. Okay, so just reading the things on it. Says the Pro version brings a balanced circuit with the additional 2.5 millimeter audio output and more power to drive higher loads. And that's for the Pro. And this one's the Pro X. And this takes it even a step further. Whereas, that isn't what I wanted. Whereas the original had the dual DAC ES9218 chipset. You are now getting the ES9219C dual, two of those, which allows you to run decoding of DSD from 64 to 256, PCM at 384 kilohertz, 32-bit, and of course MQA now it does 8x rendering. Basic things. The single-ended output, the 3.5, that's going to give you 70 milliwatts plus 70 milliwatts at 32 ohms. Its response range is 20 to 90 kilohertz. It has a distortion of 0.0015%. Dynamic range is 115 decibels. Signal to noise ratio is 119 decibels. And channel separation is 110 decibels. I just had to check the camera. You know, sometimes I do this and I don't even have the microphone plugged in or anything like that. Now we're getting into the balanced. So the balanced is 109 milliwatts plus 190 milliwatts. Excuse me, I said 9. It's 190 milliwatts plus 190 milliwatts at 32 ohms. Same frequency response. Same distortion. Dynamic range has gone to 116 decibels. And signal to noise ratio is 120 decibels. Channel separation 117 decibels. Recommended headphones 8 to 200 ohms. I don't agree with that. I would say don't put anything higher than maybe 100 and something ohms on this. To be honest, I mean, I don't have any 200. I do have 250, and it didn't exactly sound too strong on this. No, this will run that. This will run your Fostex. This will run my Hi-Fi Planar Magnetics. It's not going to get them loud. It's not going to feed them properly. some people mistake something sounding decent on something for it actually sounding properly. And it may sound decent on there, but it doesn't mean that they're being fed the power that they need. You will see a big difference if you add a DAC amp to that, definitely. Once you feed something properly, it comes alive. It sounds larger than it should. It just makes the sound much better. Pedometer sensor is a KX126, whatever the heck that is. I have a clip-on one. I tested them. It's fairly accurate. It's a little less accurate than like a dedicated one, but it is accurate enough to be a good feature on here for some people that actually want that. CPU, I think I'm not sure if I said it was the Ingenic X1000. Like we said, it's a dual ES9219C setup. Geez, it doesn't give me the amp on here. I really would have liked to have mentioned that. There's no radio on this one. This version has no radio. The operating system is the Hidizs OS 3.0. Bluetooth is 4.2, but it's a bidirectional Bluetooth. It's a really good chipset for the 4.2. It supports aptX, LDAC, UAT. You can stream this player to your headphones, or you can stream your phone, Spotify, whatever, to this unit and have your headphones on that. Either way, so it's very convenient. USB Type-C, it's bidirectional, so you can use this hooked up to something wired if you need to. Remote operation by Hidizs Link. The display is a Samsung 2.45-inch 480 by 360 IPS HD touchscreen. Of course, the housing is all metal. It's aluminum. There are variants of this, not necessarily this model, but different models that come in stainless steel and metal and different colors and everything. This one comes in a variety of different colors. I'm not sure of all the colors. I think there is black, blue, red, and silver. I'm not sure if there's any other colors. Copper would have been really nice. There may be a special edition copper coming out, and then I'll kick myself for not waiting. The volume knob is a Japanese ALPS. Very good components in this system. Maximum storage, we said, is 512 gigabytes. Battery is 800 milliamps. It's a 3.7 volt lipolymer battery. And it says about 8 to 11 hours, but we're going to give this 8. And if you're using some full-size cans, expect that to be about maybe 6. Standby is 40 days. I didn't. Actually, I've been so busy testing it, it definitely didn't have time to do standby. Charge time is an hour, according to them. I'm going to say about an hour and a half, I believe it took me. I'll test it again because I just started charging it now because I went to turn it on and it needed to be charged because I've been using the heck out of this thing. It's been about 20 minutes and it's already almost at half charge. So, all right, we'll give it the 1 hour. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt there for that. More importantly, any caveats? Like I said, I would have liked to see these audio jacks on the top and the C on the bottom. I think that would have been a much better design. I'm sure there's reasons why they had to put everything together because of the board inside. I would have liked to see 4.4, and I would have liked to see a case. I don't care if it was that little cheap silicone case or not. I would have liked to have seen a case in the box. Just because this is, it feels premium, and it would have been just a little bit more premium. Even if they included like a pleather case in there, that would have been really nice to go with this. I might not have used it, but I would have liked to see it in there. Who am I kidding? Of course somebody used it. Sound-wise, now, I don't remember the AP80 Pro. Quite honestly, I might have used that. I don't know. I did use the AP80. I remember that. And honestly, I like the way this sounds now. This one has that nice kind of the lower end register has a kind of mild warmth to it. Particularly the lower mids and the bass bring out some nice warmth. Now, it's not bass boosted. The bass has some very good control. There's a decent extension there, but it's more kind of a balanced signature for the bass with some really good details. We're moving on to the mid-range, very rich sounding, kind of clear, almost neutral, transparent kind of tonality to the mids, but yet they have enough energy and emotion in them to make them feel lush, to be quite honest. I do like the mid-range. I like the way it presents, and I don't think it presents very forward. It's actually kind of natural placed where it's placed. That said, very good mid-range. And then we move on to the treble. Now, it should be noted with the mid-range that the lower mid-range is kind of warm, and the upper mid-range has a little bit of a brightness to it. We get into the treble, and of course, the lower treble, the upper treble sound very good. They kind of sound a little pushed, but they're definitely good. There's transparency there. There's good details and airiness. And quite honestly, there's some nice sparkle, cymbals and everything. Everything sounds natural there. The highs might just actually be just a little bit boosted. This thing is a fingerprint magnet. We'll call that as one of the cons. But like I said, the cons are way outweighed by the pluses here. What are we at? 56 in 30 minutes. It's at 56 charge. So roughly after a burn-in, we go back, we test the sound, and see if it's changed or different or anything. So this is the opinion after a couple of hours of burn-in, and that roughly, I don't know, I think we put about maybe 200 hours on this now. The balance seems to boost everything a little bit better. There's better power in the bass. There's a bit more details. There's some micro details. It seems a bit louder, of course, and it should for balanced anyway. So it was decent. This was tested with a bunch of different IMs, including the metal ores. What else did we use? The Chin T3s and T2 Evos. The AudioFly, I don't know what number that is, 1000 something or another, and the 100, is it a 100? I have so many IMs, it's hard to even tell what I used on this, but I try to I use some bass heavy, I use some mid heavy, and I use some well balanced, and then neutral and flat, as flat as I can find to test them out. And that way we can get a kind of a good median of where this is going to sound depending on what you're using. Now, we did use full-size headphones, or we tried at least. And while it does do full-size headphones well, there are some that are harder to drive that you might want to hook a dongle up to this or something. That said, in a nutshell, it's kind of a warm sounding, not very much, just slightly warm in its signature. Good control in the bass, good presentation and extension. Mid-range seemed to be very detailed, very, very rich in its detail, and yet they seem kind of neutral. And when you get into the treble seems a little bit more north of balanced, slightly boosted in a little bit of way, a little bright, yet it's not harsh at all. It seems to be a very good level of sparkle there, details, and control as well in the highs. So overly, it sounds very good. It sounds excellent. It's a very pleasant signature, to be quite honest. And it's got a decent amount of power. It does just about everything you can think of, and the thing is built solid, like a tank, like a gorgeous tank made by Maybach or something. Yeah, it's really nice. I really do like this. I'm gonna recommend this. This isn't the greatest player of all time, but if you can get this for a decent price, and I'll look for the price for you, it's a decent player. So with that said, we're getting on the 15. I'm going to try to keep all these videos under 15. Sometimes I ramble. Getting toward 15. So thank you so much for watching. This has been the AP80 Pro X digital audio player. And thank you so much for watching. Please be safe, and I'll see you somewhere out on the internet.